Hello everybody and welcome back to another Spiritual Monday video with the Electra Soul. What's up guys? I am here today to talk with you guys about what it is to cut these people off, no matter what it looks like, no matter who they are, no matter what. Okay, listen guys, this is not about toxically cutting off everyone and everything that pisses you off. If someone holds you accountable, cut them off because they're toxic. No, listen guys, I mean this more in the way that you are a person who's very valuable within yourself. You are a great friend, you're a great person, you are super kind, very unconditional to everyone around you. You know this for yourself. You're not cocky about it, but you have a lot of confidence in that. You know who you are, you know who you've become, you know everything that you've ended up bringing to your table, and you understand that there are people around you who do not value you that same way. Okay, there are people around you who don't understand exactly what you do for them. Okay, maybe they do, but maybe they're sleeping on it because they think, oh whatever, you know, it's them, they're such a good person, of course they'll make excuses for me, whatever it is. Okay, right? I want y'all to remember that even though, like, I am a law of assumptioner, I am a conscious manifestor, I am still somebody who manifests the best out of everyone and everything. I do understand in my reality, you know, I've definitely made the most out of everyone and everything. Thankfully, you know, I had learned to see everybody in the exact light that they were supposed to be for somebody like myself, which is why I surround myself with nobody other than the best of the best people. You know, that's it. Literally only the best of the best. I am extremely selective. I do not play games about anyone or anything. I don't even care about if, for example, like, I'm manifesting the best out of someone. If someone rubs me the wrong way, even throughout that process or between me manifesting them and whatever it is that they do, I will cut you off because I don't care. I'm not the kind of person who's just gonna sit here and I'm gonna overwrite it and whatever. Depends on the person though, I will say. I feel like it does definitely differentiate between family members or people that you've known for a very long time, or if you know that someone's capable of that complete change, whatever. Everyone is capable of change, but you know what I'm saying. I feel like I'm very selective about it, like extremely, and you know, I have my Capricorn in me to thank for that, but definitely I feel like even regardless of that, do not be afraid to cut off whoever you want because you can. Like literally just because you can, because they're not adding value to your life seemingly so anymore. Maybe you just feel like you've outgrown them and you don't feel like you want to assume differently about them, whatever. You know, of course there's a whole lot of different things that play into this, but I'm gonna let y'all know that regardless, like if you are a conscious manifestor, which we definitely all are, if you're manifesting the best out of everyone and everything, you better believe that you're still getting that. But in this case scenario anyway, if it feels to you that you don't feel like you want to work with this, if you feel like you have outgrown somebody, if you feel like this person I've met seems like they could be really cool, but as of right now I'm not messing with what I'm seeing, cut it off. Like it does not matter. Okay, I want y'all to understand that you're not losing anything by cutting off people around you who do not value you, who seem to take advantage of you, who act like they don't love themselves enough to treat you a certain type of way, people who talk badly about everyone and everything, who are really pessimistic, just anything that you don't rock with, get rid of it. Okay, and this video is going to be really short, sweet, and simple. I really intend, because sometimes I say that and then it's not short, sweet, and simple. Well, it's very sweet and simple, but maybe not short. That's what she said. But yes, definitely. Regardless of that though, you know, I'm just going to tell y'all right now, get rid of them. 110. And listen, even though it may seem hurtful, even though you are someone who's extremely kind and you're too empathetic, which was definitely a problem that I've had a problem. It's not a problem. Being empathetic to me has always been an enormous gift. But I understand in the case scenario where you're like, I don't want to do that because I feel so bad, you know, they went through this and this, that, whatever. Listen guys, oh my gosh, when I was little, baby, I would give chance after chance after chance to some of the most abusive people, and I'm talking kids my age. Like, I'm not saying older kids, older teenagers. I was friends with people who weren't in my age group. I'm talking 8 years old and 8 years old. Like, we were both 8 years old, and wow, damn, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I have been through ups and freaking downs. Not even ups and downs, because I was the only one who was trying to hold on to the damn ground, but the other people around me were just extremely toxic as children, and I was someone who was like overly empathetic. Like, I was way too nice. I was known as like a pushover in that sense, where even I knew people in middle school that would say that I was like a pushover, and it was crazy because I didn't even see myself that way. I just thought I was really nice, but what they meant is that I never stand up for myself, is that I just don't speak up for myself, I don't have boundaries, whatever. And I've learned to have boundaries over the years because obviously I deserve to have boundaries. I mean, everyone has to have boundaries. You literally have to have boundaries in this lifetime, because if you don't, there is a big chance that you could be taken advantage of. I mean, there is. But even then, for myself, thankfully, when I was learning to have boundaries, it wasn't ever at a moment that I was like, okay, no, I've been pushed to my limit, whatever. Thankfully enough for myself, where I've manifested to be able to be surrounded by a lot of people like myself who naturally and kindly taught me how to have boundaries, so that when I, for example, saw something that I didn't like, I naturally wanted to put my boundary down, as opposed to me saying, oh my God, I'm so scared, but I have to do this. No, I learned to naturally fall in love with having boundaries, so it became very easy for me to just implement what I wanted and to not be afraid of the outcome. Because even when people felt like I was very intimidated by, you know, I was very intimidated by specific people, I still understood that there's nothing to be afraid of, because even with these things, it's just nothing that can override my power, because I always knew that. You know, I had a lot of power and confidence in who I was as a person. I knew who I was. Like, I knew I was extremely kind, and I knew that I was someone who had a lot of power because of that. And because of that, I had learned over the years to naturally cut people off. And I will tell you guys, it actually was low-key really hard for me at the start, because some of the people that I would have to cut off, you know, if, okay, actually, let me rewind. If there were people in my life that I had to cut off, like, let's say 10 years ago when I was a teenager, they were always people that it was very easy to cut them off. You know, I didn't even want them around type thing. It would be people who were already very toxic and kind of weird and just like not my kind of person. So cutting them off was just me not talking to them anymore or whatever. But as time went on, it got a little bit more serious in the way that it started to become people around me, like friends that I had for years. You know, it started to become people who I thought would never be that kind of person, where I had to cut you off basically. And you know, at the beginning it was kind of tough for me, because again, I'm very nice, like honestly, I'm very sweet, and I don't like to have to say something where it's like, okay, I don't think that this person's gonna understand, because that's usually what it is for me. If I feel like someone will understand, I have no issue communicating what it is that I feel or whatever. But if I feel like the person's gonna battle me on something because I'm right and they don't want to accept that I'm right, that's when I get a little bit more anxious, because I'm like, or used to get more anxious, because I'd be like, bro, I don't want to have to fight with this person right now. Like, I don't want to have to tell them about themselves and then them get mad at me because I'm telling them about themselves. But the whole thing with that is that it came to a point where, for example, I had like this one friend who I had to cut off because the energy was so poor and it was just so not good. It just wasn't good. Like, it wasn't feeding anything within my reality. I had already gotten so many signs that this person wasn't the one for me anymore. And you know, it was pretty complicated at the time because I had known this person for so long. But thankfully I had other people around me who were like, you have to be strong enough to do this, because if you don't, you're gonna be stuck here with someone who does not value you and where you're not happy, and then it's gonna only get worse from here. And it usually always does, you know, unless you're willing to stick down to their level. But I wasn't willing to do that. I was growing very rapidly and the person wasn't growing with me. So naturally I was like, okay, well, I have to do this. So I did end up doing it. It honestly was pretty hard because I felt bad, like very bad. But people around me were reminding me, no, you did the right thing. You did the right thing. You always do. And then I was shown, guys, oh my God, I was shown immediately why I did the right thing. I'm gonna tell you guys, like, it was something that they did that confirmed that what I did was the right thing, because they ended up like kind of going off on a tangent about the kind of person that they saw me as. And I was very shocked, because I was like, wow, I did not know that you thought of me that way, you know? And it was all kinds of stuff that I just didn't expect that this person would ever say about me. So then after that, I just knew. I was like, nah, I did the right thing, definitely, because wow, my real friends would never do that. So then that was like the first thing. And then as time went on, I had to cut off other people, and it just became way easier for me to do that. It's always like the first thing seems the hardest to do, but it's really just that you're afraid because you're doing something that you have never had confidence as much as you do right now before, you know? So I learned to have confidence in my cutting people off abilities, and now I'm able to cut off basically anyone or anything, which makes me really, really happy, because I have a lot of strong boundaries and I will leave anyone exactly where they are, because I realized for myself that no one is worth that much pain ever. Like, no matter what, I kid y'all not, bro, no matter who it is, no matter what it is, it's just, they're not worth it. Like, they're not worth it, because it's not something that you should be putting your energy towards in the first place. And if you lost them, are you really losing anything? You're honestly not, but you need to know that for yourself, because if you sit here and you try to reason with it, you are giving your energy away to a person who doesn't even properly value it in the first place, and you're staying there to make them more comfortable. So you're putting them before yourself. And if you want the best, best and you know that you deserve the best, you have to be willing to cut people off exactly where they are if what they're bringing to you is not something that resonates with you at freaking all. You know, of course, communication is definitely always key. You should try to talk to these people before doing anything rash like that. But if you know it's like the end of the line and you know, okay, no, like too many things have happened, I can't deal with this anymore, I've been too kind before, I gotta do this, do it. You know what I'm saying? It's always about being very mature minded though, and being very strong again about your boundaries, but you have to do what's right and best for you. And if you know that you deserve the best, cut them off if you have to, and you'll never regret it. Because even within my own journeys where I have had to learn to cut people off like that, people who I've known for a very long time, whatever, people around me as well have had to learn to do that for themselves too. So they learned, let me cut off this person who treats me like shit, and because you cut that person off, now I know I'm gonna be okay because you're okay. So then they would do the same thing, and then boom, it'd be like a cycle like that. And it's not something where I sit here and I'm waiting to cut people off, because I'm definitely not. I'm definitely more of the benefit of the doubt kind of person, but there's always people around me, including myself now, where I have the awareness to understand, no, you shouldn't be giving that to any kind of person who treats you like this or who acts like this. And that's what those people remind me. They're like, no girl, like listen to yourself, you know, you're being too nice. Dead ass. Cut them off. Do not be afraid. Boundaries are important ASF. You got to show people who you are, and it's not that you're cutting people off to show them who you are. You're cutting people off to show yourself that you are worth more than enough than you settling with these kinds of things going on all around you. You deserve better. You deserve the best. Don't settle for less. It doesn't matter what people say. Who cares? Like literally, who freaking cares? If you know what you got going on and you know what you're doing, that's all that matters. And besides that, the energy will always speak for itself. If I ever felt like, which I never honestly ever did really feel that way, there were plenty of times that I cut people off and things would seem jaded, where I'd be like, oh no, what if they talk about me, and what if this, and what if people believe it, whatever. My energy has always shown up for me, always. So anytime that I have ever had to do that, it's not like, oh, she's such a bad person because she cut you off. Everyone knew, or the people who would maybe get told this, or if they were involved or whatever, they knew that I did it for a good reason, or that, let's say for example yourself, you're doing it for a good reason. They're going to know that you're doing it because of yourself. Like you're doing it for you. You're not doing it because you were a bitch and because you wanted to hurt this person. You're doing it because you had to do it for you. And even if they're not mature enough mentally to understand that, they will feel the energy of knowing, okay, well, I kind of know like this energy from this person is a little bit more genuine than maybe the person who you cut off is leading you on to be. Like maybe the person that you cut off is now talking so much shit about you. Who cares? Like literally, who the fuck cares? If you know that you're a good person, nothing else matters. So even if they're talking about you and they're making you seem a type of way, whatever, it doesn't matter, because your energy will always speak for itself. And if you are who you say that you are and you feel that you are, everyone's gonna know it too, whether they know you personally or not. Energy is always felt. You can feel if someone's a good person, you can feel someone's kind of creepy, you can feel weird vibes, you can feel good vibes, you can feel anything, okay? And if they're really listening to their intuition, they're gonna know. Maybe sometimes egos get crowded and they get a little bit offended and they want to act like, oh no, you are a bad person because I'm hurt. At the end of the day, they're gonna learn to understand, nah, they're definitely just being immature, and it's just them feeling upset about something that they don't properly or fully understand for themselves just yet, but they will understand it, and everyone's gonna be okay. They're gonna be okay, you're gonna be okay, everything will be okay. And it doesn't matter if it's a best friend that you've had for 20 years, bro. If it does not resonate anymore, you gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. Whatever Meghan Trainor said. Literally whatever, like let it freaking go. It's gonna be okay, like that ass. Okay guys, so with that being said, please remember to keep your boundaries all the way the freak up. I believe in you guys way too much for y'all to be settling for less. Like hello, we're not gonna do that, especially not this time around. We have to understand that our boundaries are worth everything in this reality, and that we're not gonna settle for less just because we feel uncomfortable. No, it can still end up feeling very comfortable for you to cut people off, just like it feels very comfortable for me now. I don't really ever feel uncomfortable having to do that, because again, the end result is always worth more than me sitting there and suffering in silence with these freaking people. I don't deserve that, and neither do y'all, okay? So cut that bit off if you feel like you need to. If you need a sign, ask for a sign. If you want to set the intention right now, say, God, universe, whatever you believe in, cut off anyone or anything that does not resonate with me. Get rid of anyone or anything that is not for me. And you will see movement happening, because every single time I say that, something happens, and it always works out in my highest favor, because I deserve the best, as do y'all. All right then, my love. Stand on top of business. Use them scissors good, okay? Use them real good, because they are very useful, and they will always be just that useful. And continue on strong in the direction of taking care of you, your boundaries, your mental health, your spirituality, your energy, your everything. You're literally everything around you. Listen to your intuition. Your intuition will always serve and guide served you right. All right then, my love. May God bless y'all always. Thank you guys so freaking much for watching today. You guys mean the world to me. Continue applying. Do what you gotta do. Y'all got this, per usual. It really ain't nothing to cut that bitch off, and it really isn't. Okay then, God bless y'all again. Please take care, everyone. Bye. Speaking of spirituality, guys, really fast. Oh my god, it's actually, look at that, 555. That's amazing. That's so cool. Yup, and that means changes. Wow, that's not a coincidence. Changes, cut it off. It's gonna be okay. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, God bless y'all. I just had to come on here to tell y'all that because that is not a freaking coincidence. And look, it's 5:56 right now. I caught it at the last second. That's not a coincidence. That definitely happened for a reason. God bless you guys. Please take care. Bye.